What's up, Sneaky Nation? Sneaky P here, back with the NFL Draft. My favorite part of this entire season is happening right now. I'm so excited, especially because we have the #1 overall pick heading into this draft now. I don't know that I'm going to keep the pick. We acquired it last year in trading our pick away that was eventually selecting Reinard Ray, the player we wanted. So it was kind of a bummer last year, but it really worked out for us. We ended up getting Devin Golden anyway, and now we have the first pick this year. Again, I might end up trading the pick though. The guy I'm most targeting is Mack, but even that we don't really need. I don't feel like we have a huge need for anybody right now, but we are going to look around and kind of see what our options are. So without further ado, let's jump right into the draft here. And we do not have the option to trade the first pick. Nobody wants it, and that's okay. We can make do. And by making do, I'm pretty sure we are going to go ahead and draft Mack here. Don't really need too much here. I mean, a quarterback could be nice. Parker looked pretty good. A lot of these guys look pretty good, but I really want Mack. I do. I feel like getting another big wide receiver could really help this team out. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and draft Mack. We missed out on Reinard Ray and Yakov Moody last year. I don't want to make the same mistake this year. So we're going to go ahead.
What do you have on him?
Well, I'm a little surprised to hear his name get called at this point. But if you look at what he did at his pro day, it'll make a little bit more sense. He's always been gifted with speed, but he was in a scheme where he was kept to just running deep routes and creating space in the middle of the field. He was a good team player and never complained about his role, but you can see it in his pro day that he has the ability to be so much more. We'll have to wait until game day, however, to see if that was just a fluke or if this guy's the real deal.
So commentary during draft is a little bit more difficult because while I do advance pick, a lot of times the commentary will pop up and I have to stop immediately. I lose my train of thought and so on. We'll see how it goes, though. But look at Ross Tucker. Can Denarius Moore and Mack coexist? Are you kidding me? I think they're going to be great next to each other.
The Falcons are now on the clock.
So Tom Parker going to the Giants at #2. They have a new quarterback. We saw earlier that Eli Manning really wasn't doing well for him, so it's nice to see him get another one here.
Adam, what can you tell us about that last pick?
When I ask scouts around the league what his biggest asset is, they always point to his father. His dad is a high school coach that knows how to consistently finish in the top of the school's division. And ever since he was able to walk, he's been on the sidelines for every game. Even after he leaves practice at night, he's still getting advice from his dad at home. And from what I've heard from scouts who've watched him play, you can tell the extra coaching has helped. Even during interviews at the Combine, I was told by several GMs that he was one of their favorite players to talk to. He has his dad's eye for the game, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him become a coach one day himself. I like him a lot, and he'll be a great addition to the team.
Very interesting pick for the Falcons there. Sounds like a born leader. That is definitely what you want out of the quarterback position. I don't know what's going on with Matt Ryan. I thought they still had Matt Ryan, or maybe I saw earlier that they didn't and I forgot about it. I don't know. Either way, that's an interesting choice.
The Titans are now on
another quarterback going. So 3 out of the top 4 picks have been quarterbacks. Brenton Tracy is going to the Bills. I guess they don't have a whole lot of faith in E.J. Manuel.
All right, so they just picked up Phillips, Adam. What's the latest on him?
He was an offensive lineman that didn't get a lot of attention in the draft process until after the All-Star game. He was matched up against one of the top defensive linemen in the draft this year, and he straight up stonewalled him. They were calling blitz and showing heavy fronts all game, but he had him blocked step for step the whole game. It was the kind of performance that can send a lineman's draft stock skyrocketing, and it looks to have earned him a spot on the team. We'll see if he can be the blocker the team expects him to be after shutting down one of the better defensive linemen in this class.
Very nice. So moving forward, there are 2 more players that I really want to get, and I'm really hoping that one of them is available for our second pick. Oh, look at this. Sherrod. I like it. Reinard Ray. Definitely want Reinard Ray. We scouted him. I love him. I think he's going to be perfect for us, especially putting him next to Brandon Spikes. I'm hoping I can kind of get like a weaker version of Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman. I don't expect them to get that good, but I would love having both of those guys. The other player I'm looking at is Jimmy Mosley. I think Mosley is going to be a very good player too and could fit in perfectly with our team. So those are the 2 guys I am targeting. We will see how it pans out with us getting them.
The Dolphins are now on the clock.
No draft stories here.
Are now on the clock.
Defensive tackle of the
Now
Rams.
selected, Adam. What do you think?
The title of workout warrior gets thrown around a lot, but if there's one guy who deserves the tag, it's got to be him. I guess he wasn't satisfied with his combine numbers since he requested a redo on every physical test during his pro day. And boy, he sure didn't disappoint. From the 40 to the 3-cone drill and even the 20-yard shuttle, he was faster across the board. This is the kind of linebacker defensive coordinators drool over. He has the speed to move from sideline to sideline and slide into the nickel to cover the slot. After his workout was over, he even asked scouts if there was more they wanted to see. Seriously? I like this guy's attitude, and I know the team will too.
Did they say this linebacker can cover the slot? That is insane. That guy must have crazy good speed. Good pickup for the Lions.
The Jaguars are now on the
And look, his brothers goes next. That is awesome. The two Sherrod linebackers back to back. Gotta love that.
Jaguars just made their pick. Adam, what can you tell us about the great Alexander?
The foundation of any good team starts up front, and here's a guy who's a franchise's dream come true. GMs I talked to pointed to several of his games in college where he took on some of the nation's best defensive linemen, going toe-to-toe with them for 60 minutes of brutal trench combat and dominating them. He's going to be able to protect the franchise quarterback in addition to opening up holes for the run game. With size, speed, and strength, he should have a very successful NFL career.
All right, nice pickup for the Jags there. They've had a really good offseason.
Okay, so the Bucs have made their selection, and it's Culliver.
Nobody really knew about him until he was asked to fill in at the All-Star game for an injured player. He came to the first practice, and from that moment on, he was the center of attention. He played lights out and looked to handle himself really well, matched up against top-tier talent. He stole the show and left the All-Star game shooting up draft boards around the league. The coach is going to love having a guy like him on the team, and I can't wait to see what he does when the season rolls around.
Nice pickup for the Bucs.
The Broncos are now on the clock.
Seahawks going left tackle.
Chargers are now on the clock.
Chaz Jenkins going to the Broncos. I wonder if that means Peyton Manning is done. Because why would they use a first round? Maybe they're just getting prepared. I guess that's obviously could be the case there. Wait, looking at what the Broncos have at quarterback, maybe Peyton Manning retired. We'll have to check that out. Yep, I think Peyton Manning retired.
Now that he's just been picked, Adam, what can you tell us about McCants?
We've seen a trend in the past few years of teams preferring quicker defensive linemen, and he fits that mold. He wasn't talked about a lot until he ran one of the faster 40s and 3-cone drills among linemen. Matt Miller told me that if he can just develop a set of rush moves and a little more bulk, he can become a possible breakout player. With his natural speed and potential, he could become an interesting project at pass rusher for this team.
All right, Ray has yet to be
Redskins
selected.
have made their selection, and it's Campbell.
He got the attention of scouts pretty quickly when he had a game-winning catch that most receivers would have trouble bringing in. With one outstretched hand, he caught a pass that looked like it was about to sail out of the back of the end zone. He proved that even the big guys can make some incredible plays with their hands. And in a league where receiving tight ends are becoming a premium, it's no wonder this team took him here.
Some weird glitch with the game there because they were clearly describing a tight end. But this guy plays defensive tackle, so interesting glitch there.
The Niners are now on the clock.
Let's go Niners. Let's see what they do.
The Cardinals are now on the
Oh,
clock.
they traded away. Okay. Kind of getting nervous. We're a few picks away. Ray has yet to be selected, and neither has Mosley.
All right, team is now off the clock. Adam Schefter, can you tell us about their newest player?
He was one of the most dominant pass rushers in college football last year, getting everyone's attention after netting over 20 sacks and setting a new school record. He started seeing double teams at the line midway through the season, and that still didn't stop him from getting to the quarterback. Scouts all agree that he is a rare combination of strength and burst off the line that make him a threat on almost every play. He's a real difference maker for a defense, and he should be a starter for this defensive line in no time.
Seems like a great pickup for the Cardinals.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Heath Gayton going to the Vikings.
The Browns are now on the clock.
Fairly going to the Chiefs. All right, we're 3 picks away from being able to select Ray.
The Cowboys are now on the clock.
Oh, and we might have a shot here. Another quarterback off the board going to the Bears.
The 49ers are now on the
Oh,
clock.
I don't think the 49ers are going to select him. They don't need him. They have 2 middle linebackers.
The LA Dreams are now on the clock.
There we go. Did they just call us the LA Dreams? That's weird. Okay, but the Niners going with Shamari Gilbert. I love seeing that. I love corners, and obviously I'm a 49er fan. Let's go ahead and see what offers we have. I really want Ray. I cannot see me trading out of this pick. The Vikings and Seahawks, we could just be moving down a few picks, so it's worth looking into. But I don't really want to miss out on that. We'll take a look at it. I don't want to miss out on Ray, though. See where the Vikings and Seahawks are. It's kind of a few picks away. I'd rather... Well, I'd rather just go ahead and get Ray while I can. I don't want to risk losing out on him. I don't have a whole lot of needs, and picking up a player of his caliber could definitely benefit me moving forward. So, Reinard Ray is welcome to the Crusaders.
The Saints are now on the clock.
I'm excited about this draft so far, guys. We have grabbed the 2 players we wanted, and that's exactly what I was looking for coming into this.
The Texans are now on the clock.
Perry going to the Saints.
Eagles are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock.
And we are actually kind of close to maybe even being able to draft Mosley as
The
well.
Patriots are now on the clock.
That would be
The
crazy.
Ravens are now on the clock.
Oh, free safety went. That's not
The
good.
Vikings are now on the
One
clock.
more pick, baby.
The LA Dreams.
Oh my gosh, we're going to be able to get Mosley too. I don't even want to trade down. I just want to get the player that I came here for. That is perfect.
The Giants.
We got our 3 favorite players in this draft. Hopefully they are as good as they looked when we scouted them. But I am stoked regardless, because even if they are a little bit below what we're hoping for, I definitely feel like these are 3 players that are going to be starters on my team. If not this next season, definitely in the future.
The Falcons are now on the clock.
Going to start going through a little bit quicker now, guys. Again, it's kind of hard to do commentary because I don't know if they're going to do draft stories or not.
Titans are now on the
Nicholas Moon, I definitely scouted him a little
Morales
bit.
is now the selection. Adam, what do you think?
Matt Miller was glued to the ongoing soap opera that was his story this season. A feared pass rusher, he couldn't quite seem to play with the same intensity on a week-to-week basis. Some weeks he looked absolutely unstoppable, terrorizing opposing quarterbacks. Others he looked out of place, struggling to make any sort of impact, even taking himself out of the game multiple times in fits of frustration. Some GMs I spoke to felt that his lack of consistency was due to a lack of maturity, something that can be easily addressed by the right coaching staff. This pick could have tremendous upside or could end up as a what could have been story. It should be interesting to see how this saga plays out.
Interesting choice for the Titans. You definitely feel like they'd go for more of a surefire
The
player.
Dolphins are now on the clock.
George Azur going to the
The
Packers.
Dolphins have made their selection, and it's Byers.
Long talked about as a top 3 defensive back prospect, his draft stock fell dramatically after a series of consecutive struggles late in the season against inferior wide receivers. Many speculated that these struggles were due to a series of nagging injuries, a theory which may have been validated by his strong performance at his pro day. I was able to talk with several GMs about him at the Combine, and they told me he possesses the raw physical skills needed to become a top-tier NFL defensive back. 3 skills in particular were mentioned by every GM I spoke to: exceptional physicality at the line of scrimmage, a nose for the ball, and better hands than most receivers they've seen and scouted. The reason for his collegiate struggles may forever be shrouded in mystery, but they'll soon be forgotten if he's able to realize his full football potential.
All right, so we are back on the clock here. Blair Cooper might be an interesting pickup. I don't really know. We'll go ahead and check him out. We might end up trading this pick. I don't know quite yet. Let's see what we have here. Run block A for this guy, but that's way down the list. Pass block is not all that good for any of them. So if I'm going to select any, I might as well wait for my 4th round pick to pick up Burnett there. Back up to scouted. Let's see who else we have looked at. A few wide receivers. Let's check out the quarterbacks here. Kind of see, I know I like Small, but I might be able to get him with my next pick. So I'm not going to try rushing that. We see a few ABs here. Again, just looking at this, Small, Wells, and Everett are all looking pretty good down there. Deep throw accuracy small. Again, just probably looks like the best option. Everett can throw on the run, though. Now, if Everett has more speed, we'll have to check this out. Everett does have more speed, so could be another option to keep an eye on, if nothing else. I might end up trying to draft both of them and just kind of, again, bringing out that quarterback competition. Nobody up here really kind of stood out to me all that much, at least not like the ones down there. So, yeah, we're going to wait on the quarterback, wide receiver. We already drafted one. I don't need a wide receiver. We can always check out to see what their stats were when I scouted them, though. Catching is not all that good. Fabian Rogers seems very interesting, though. I mean, might be worth... Yeah, Fabian Rogers, honestly, he looks like a beast. He might be worth drafting anyway next round. I don't have a whole lot of holes, so I can kind of take a chance on maybe getting another star player. Right now, I feel okay. What about Lucas? Well, let's see what Lucas has to offer us here. Seems pretty solid. Has good strength. A lot of other people kind of have the same attributes, though. I'm looking at Will Hughes down here, and he's not projected to go until the 5th round. So again, another option in case I miss out. So let's go ahead and check out the trades that we have offered to us right now, and make that decision on if we want to trade down or not. So we can get a 1st round pick for next season. Honestly, I don't really... Getting another 1st round pick for next season would be nice. Huh. Let's see who else is at the top of that board there before we make that decision. Because our pick is so high here, it's still a pretty solid pick. I'm not going to really get anything from a 7th round pick. I don't really need a running back. Don't need outside linebacker on either side there. Tight end could be nice, but again, I already have a plan for that. Unless I wanted to take a chance on Bishop here, but I haven't really scouted him, so that could be really risky. I like his size, though. Look at that size. 6'6", 320 pounds. This guy is 6'7", 280. But this guy fits a 3-4 defense, too, so that kind of makes me wonder. I do need another cornerback. If I'm going to be moving Hayden to safety, especially... Well, no, I don't need to move Hayden to safety anymore. I got Mosley. So I don't really need a quarterback. Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and trade the pick away. Unless I don't feel comfortable. Where's my other pick at here? It is way back there. Part of me wonders if I want to miss out on the player I really want, like quarterback-wise. We're going to take this chance. We got 3 players that we love. The Vikings just won the Super Bowl, so they're obviously a really good team. The Broncos just drafted a rookie quarterback. But the Redskins probably are the safest bet to have the worst record.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a trade.
So hopefully this trade works out for us. Gives us something to look at next season too, you know. Checking their record out. Let's see who they go with.
The Lions are now on the...
And that's the guy I was thinking about getting. We're going to have to keep an eye on him to see how good of a player he is, because I actually almost selected him, except for I did get Tuck back, you know.
Okay, so the Lions have just made Kane their selection. Let's hear more about him from Adam.
I'll tell you, everyone was talking about him after the Combine, and not exactly for the best of reasons. He was called out almost unanimously as one of the worst interviews at Indy. I spoke with a few of the scouts who sat down with him, and the common remarks I heard was that he was slow to respond, had very little to say, and definitely had his periods of awkward silence. Fortunately for him, how he plays is looked at more than how he talks. I think the team found a good player, even if he is lacking a little charisma.
All right, that was the other player I was looking at. Interesting enough.
The Jaguars are now on the clock.
Let's see, just kind of advance through.
On the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock.
There goes that tight end.
The Redskins are now on the
So
clock.
weird enough, the running back has yet to be picked.
The Jets are now on the clock.
I cannot believe this running back has yet to be selected.
The Cardinals are now on the clock.
49ers going with Cadron Frazier, a left
The
end.
Rams are now on the clock.
And there goes Moss. So these quarterbacks are starting to go again. I might have to go ahead and select Small and not even risk losing
The
them.
Chiefs are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock.
Oh, another quarterback.
The LA Dreams.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I thought that was another quarterback. I was about to lose it. Yeah, let's go ahead and draft our quarterback here. I do not want to risk missing out on him. Kason Dobbs still available. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, we're going to go with Small. He's the second highest quarterback rated now, so somebody could select him.
The Saints are now on the clock.
And we got Traine Small. Welcome to the Crusaders. Not the Dreams, as the game keeps saying.
The Texans are now on
There
the
goes
clock.
Forrest. Dupree, a cornerback to the Texans.
The Broncos are now
Keith
on the clock.
Buchanan, I was looking at
The
him.
Patriots are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on
Going
the
through
clock.
kind of quickly
Adam Schefter
now.
with the inside scoop on Rodgers.
No receiver had a rougher outing at the All-Star game than he did. Even though he was targeted plenty of times throughout the game, he came away with a giant 0 on the stat sheet. When I asked Matt Miller what the issue was, he told me there were several problems. For one, he never seemed to build chemistry with the quarterbacks on the roster. The timing of the throws, in combination with his routes, made each pass a difficult one to bring in. He also seemed to be the most tightly covered receiver, even though they cycled through different defenders each drive. He had a difficult time adjusting to the faster play and rarely got separation from the corner to make an open field grab. Regardless of his issues, the fact that he was drafted tells me the team wasn't concerned with his play at the All-Star game. Maybe a little consistency is all he needs.
Very interesting. I was thinking about selecting him, even though I didn't need a wide receiver, so it sounds pretty good that I did not.
Let's go to Shefty now with more on Preston.
After a string of injuries his junior year and what looked like more of the same his senior year, he made the decision to leave the team. It was a difficult choice to make, but after consulting with the trainers and coaches, it seemed like the best long-term option. His body needed more time to heal from past injuries, and opting out of his senior year helped him make a complete recovery in preparation for the draft. So even though there wasn't a lot of recent tape on him, he did put on a good show at the Combine, convincing scouts he hadn't lost a step. Some teams were concerned with his competitiveness after foregoing that final year of eligibility, but at least one team was confident enough to pick him up. Now we'll see if this team can keep him healthy and on the field.